Hey, what's going on? So, in this episode, is there reason to worry about the Celtics because of their recent play? Let's talk about that. All right, so welcome in. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate all of you. So, as I said in the opening, a lot of talk's been made about the Celtics' recent play. And mind you, they are the defending champions. So, with that comes a level of expectation, right? Like let's not kid ourselves about that. So the fact that they've gone is 8-8 in their past 16 games, going into the game that was on MLK Day, which, by the way, happy MLK Day. We all know why it's such an important day. You know, the fight for equality and all that good stuff. A fight that continues long after his death, but obviously we have to honor him for the work that he put in. So yeah, the Celtics had their MLK Day game against the Warriors. But like I said, going into it playing 500 basketball, they're going through their worst stretch of shooting all season. You know, obviously last season when they won the title. So now a lot of questions are, you know, do they have to change the way that they play? Can last year's formula work this year? And with the recent play, obviously the results haven't been there. But like I said, is there a reason to worry about how they're playing right now? So I guess first things first, you know, they went up against the Warriors team that were depleted. So they couldn't really gain anything from the game other than if they lost, there'd have been like widespread panic amongst the analysts and everything. They handled their business. They beat the Warriors by 40 points. Steph Curry was the only Warriors player to score in double digits. And yes, you know, Draymond was out. I think Pajemski was out. Somebody else. I remember this showing them. Kaminga was out. So obviously the Warriors are trying to win based off of Steph, Moody, and some other guys who, yeah, they're rotational pieces, but obviously they were elevated to different roles. Whatever, they lose by 40. No problem. Nothing really to gain from that. But when I was watching the game, obviously the game got out of hand. I was looking for kind of signs that might show that they could be coming out of the bad stretch of play. Which once again, play 500 basketball. If that's your worst stretch in a season and a half, I think you're doing okay. So you know, things I saw in this one, you know, I feel like the ball movement was there. I feel like the defense was there. And once again, with the depleted Warriors roster, not too much you can get from that. But you know, Tatum dropped 22, I think, for Jaylen Brown. I feel like he did better in this game offensively because he had been going through some struggles as well. He was 8 of 14, 17 points. So you like to see that. We saw him in post up action when he had mismatches because they went through a long stretch where they were just seeking out Steph Curry on defense, utilizing Porzingis with that, you know, middle of the floor action where they like to run screens to get smaller guys on him, and he was posting them Steph Curry. You know, saw some good things there. I know they talked about Joe Mazzulla addressing the team and talking about, you know, these are the moments where I guess champions have to step up when going through, you know, times like this where, you know, offense might not be clicking, you know, so they might have to rely more defensively while guys kind of shoot themselves out of the slumps that they're in, like Derek White. I mean, Derek White had 8, but he did shoot 2 out of 4 from 3. It seemed like his perimeter shot had been kind of lost for a little bit, so maybe this is something that gets them going. because they are on a 3-game road trip, West Coast road trip. So they started with Golden State. Then they have the two LA teams, which obviously used to be the same building, two different buildings. So I will be interested to see kind of the new Clippers arena on TV. But I mean, is it an opportunity for them to go 3-0? Yeah, but I think look, a 2-1 West Coast trip, I would be okay with that. So that's what I'm looking for, and I want to see some more kind of good habits where, um, Tatum. Going back to him real quickly, he was 3 of 10 from three. You'd like to see that be a little bit better, but I love the 22 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. I think get back with kind of the those three categories, flirting with triple doubles. If he does that for these 3 games, I think they'll be fine in all of them. Porzingis chipped in 18 and 7. Love to see that from him. So yeah. Also, I just want to say this real quickly. Seems like it's been a while since I'd seen Jordan Walsh. I feel like every time I've seen him this year, I see more of a reason why I really think Jordan Walsh is going to be a factor on this team soon. Not this season, but maybe next year. Maybe, I mean, I wouldn't hope this, but maybe, he's part of some trade to bring in something. I don't know, but I like Jordan Walsh. I like what I see from him defensively, and he seems way more confident on his 3-point shot than when he first got there. Saw a little bit of Shireman as well. Saw some of his offensive, repertoire where he knocked down a 3 and mid-range game. Just want to get that out there. Now, since we're talking Celtics, like I said, talking the road trip, I do want to mention really quickly the Brandon Jennings stuff about calling Tatum soft. Look, I know it happened a little time ago, but first Celtics video I've done since. What has Jason Tatum done to these NBA people that they just feel the need to keep going at him? Last postseason, they couldn't help but rip him. Even though he led the team in points, rebounds, and assists, other guys do that. They celebrate it. Tatum does it. They have a problem with it. Now it's softest Celtics superstar ever. Why? Because he doesn't get into a lot of social media beefs. He doesn't have burner accounts to defend himself. He doesn't he doesn't get into a lot of altercations on the court other than when he claps too loud and refs give him technicals. Is he soft because he talks about his love for his mom? Is he soft because he's always with his son? I don't get it at all. But for me, look, I'm glad Jason Tatum is a Celtic. He doesn't get in trouble off the court, anything like that. If that's soft, fine. I know a lot of people call him corny, whatever. Does he go too far with the Kobe idolization? That's up to you to decide. I don't care. Because one, the face of the league this whole era, LeBron James, is a pretty corny dude as well, but nobody talks about that. But for some reason, Jason Tatum is soft. Whatever. I don't care. I just want to say that it's so stupid that Brandon Jennings keeps doubling down on it, even though his reasoning is stupid to begin with. But I just want to say that real quickly. Don't want to spend too much on it because it's a dumb premise. I don't get it. Whatever. But to answer the question I had at the beginning of this episode, is it time to panic about the Celtics? I would say no, because they are still in a good position. They are still one of the favorites, and they proved last season that they know how to get through the rigor of the NBA playoffs and come out on top. Now, yes, every season is different. I'm not gonna, hold you and say that it's gonna be the same exact path or same exact ease coming out of the East. Not gonna say that. Got to give Cleveland credit for what they've done. I like the way Cleveland has built their team, but for Cleveland, they clearly have made it a priority to be the number 1 seed, which means The playoffs would have to go through Cleveland if you want to make it to the finals. Perfectly okay with that. I think Missoula has been working on this team's mentality, and he's going to approach it as, I don't care if the Celtics are the 2 seed or even probably the 3 seed, but they're not going to go all out to try to chase down the Cavs and get the 1 seed. Like, if they do that, it's probably because the Cavs probably went on some long losing streak or something and the Celtics caught up, but I don't think the Celtics have the mentality that they have to have the number 1 seed. So for me, watching over the second half of the season, because they are 30-13, so we're into the second 41, second half of the season, just need them to be clicking by the time we get to like mid-March, with the season ending in early April. If they're playing better, then you can kind of use the last couple of weeks to, set guys up with rest to get them going into the playoffs. Because obviously with the Celtics, you want them to be like rested but not rusty. So you still play your star guys. You don't like overwork them with minutes, but make sure that they stay within rhythm. Because obviously that's going to be a key when you go into the playoffs if your guys are playing well. I think that's where, if they're heading into the playoffs and they're looking terrible or not looking as sharp, then I would worry. At this point, a team that just went through what they went through last season, all the pressure they put on themselves to win a ring and finally getting one, we know how hard it is to, I guess, keep up that level in a second season, which is why not a lot of NBA teams have repeated and haven't had a repeat champion since the Warriors in 17 and 18. It takes a lot. That's why the Jordan Bulls of the 3 in a row doing it twice, incredible feat. You get the Lakers go through their run. Like, those runs obviously are remembered because we all know how difficult it is. So is it time for the panic about the Celtics? No. But yeah, I do think they obviously have to get out of this bit of a slump that they're in. And hopefully today is the type of game where, maybe they do start trying to play a little bit better over the next couple of weeks, stack the wins, and then maybe you throttle down a little bit towards the end of the year. I think part of me, and when I watch the Celtics, because you guys know, I don't get too high or too low when it comes to my teams. It almost seems like with the Celtics, like they're picking and choosing certain matchups against certain teams where they really seem to be better locked in than other opponents. And once again, like I said, I'm not going to panic at all. I know this team is kind of built for the postseason because of the moves Brad Stevens has made. But also with that, there's rumors out there. I keep seeing rumors about Walker Kessler in Utah being a potential trade target for the Celtics. I've seen Keon Ellis from the Kings as a trade target. So I wouldn't be surprised if Brad Stevens does some type of move. Now, Walker Kessler would be obviously to bring in a big man when you have those nights that Horford can't really go. Porzingis with his injury history, you may have to sit him some nights, which would then leave you with Cornette and Keita and Tillman. Kessler would be an upgrade in that area. I don't know what they'd have to give up to get him, but I could see that. Keon Ellis is a wing defender who shoots the 3 really well, which obviously would fit with the Celtics really well. And maybe that's to give guys like Derek White and some of them who are like Derek White's going through a slump right now. I guess Ellis would be a guy you could throw in there if you want to maybe give Derek White a night off or something like that. So I understand it. But I also think if Brad Stevens stuck with this team, I wouldn't have a problem. But I feel like Brad's going to do a little minor move just to tweak things. But we'll obviously see what comes of that. The trade deadline is approaching. What are we, a couple of weeks out? So once again, to reiterate, am I panicking about the Celtics because of their recent play? No, not at all. But you let me know in the comment section whether you are panicking. And with the trade deadline coming up, Maybe throw a player in the comments that you would like to see the Celtics go trade for. Would love to hear from you. Definitely appreciate you. Make sure you follow me on all the socials and everything like that are in my profile, all that. But yeah, that's all I got for you. Appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in once again. And as I always say, be safe. God bless, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye.